Hey everybody, it's Robot here from Vespa, Motorsport, and ScooterWest.com. So here I'm on my new 2023 Vespa GTS 300, as we like to call it, the HPE2, because this kind of has had quite a few changes to it. A lot for the good, but they sure changed a lot of parts that make it not compatible with all the prior year models. Well, the one thing that stood out like a sore thumb when I got this bike was these levers. They have all these cool black accents, like black mirrors, black trim, and you got these just silver levers. There's nothing else silver on the scooter. So today I'm going to show you the various lever options we have as of like mid 2023. Of course, it always changes. We're always looking for new products to carry for you guys, but I want to show you what I have available, and most importantly, get these silver levers off here. And then a little bit later in the video, I'm going to show you how to change it. It's pretty simple. There is some steps to taking the handlebars apart. But first of all, if you like the silver levers, maybe you don't have a Supersport, you have just a standard GTS and you like the silver levers, well, guess what? The original Piaggio levers are astronomically expensive. Astronomically expensive, I'm talking about. Each one's like, I don't know, $60 or $75 as of right now. It's a lot of money for a lever. Well, fortunately, we got you covered because at Scooter West, we have a pair of replacement levers, identical to the ones, all high quality. They're die-cast levers, and the part number for the pair of these is 1C007042-3, and it's a pair of levers, and it costs much less than just one lever of the original Piaggio lever. They are left and right. Ironically, you can install them either side, but the problem is since they're a die-cast lever, they do have this hollow spot, so you typically want that facing down. So pretty much can, just if you need a lever, this is gonna be your cheap way to go. And in a pinch, you could put them on either side, but if you're looking for the right side or the left side, they are marked underneath which side they fit. Okay, the one I'm most excited about is just a stock lever. I do like how these feel. Again, pretty inexpensive compared to the original Vespa levers. And we have the black set. Again, 1C007042-3-BK. And they have a nice black treatment to them. It's not anodizing, this is die cast, and it's not powder coat, I forgot what the coating's called, but a very durable black coating that's used on many OEM black levers, and they're just patterned after the original ones. They got the breakaway, so if you go down, you don't lose your whole lever, which is both a plus, you don't lose the lever, and a minus, if it goes down, you're gonna knock break about half the lever away. Always a good thing. I mean, you never know when you might get into a situation where the scooter falls over on a long road trip. You do not want to lose the whole entire lever. So it's actually quite a good safety thing in my eyes. I've seen them on motorcycles for years, and I have dropped my own motorcycles and broke off just the tip, and it's nice to know you still have the rest of the lever. So I'm going to show you how to change these out, but maybe you're looking to do the ultimate and high-end levers. Well, as of April 2023, MG Bike Tech has you covered. This is an Austrian company. These things are made in Austria. They're great quality. I have these on my Robot Vespa. I love them because they're super easy to adjust. It's got this little wheel right here. Of course, you're going to pay a little bit of money for these really nice levers. They're sold as pair. Again, it's the OEM part number 1C007042-3-MG. And there's one -L and the other one is -S for shorty. So if you're looking for shorty levers, a little bit shorter than the original lever, I'll show you how that compares. I'm not gonna put these on. They're a little bit trickier to install because they do have a spring you gotta put in there for the adjustment, but you can see they're nice 2-finger shorty levers. And these are all machined aluminum. They're black anodized coating on there. Just made really, really nice, made in Europe. So some of the tools that you'll need to successfully replace a set of levers on a 2023 Vespa GTS, I'd recommend having a good quality grease. I suggest something like this Maxima waterproof grease. It's real tacky, it works well. Part number grease at the Scooter West web store. Some of the other basic hand tools you'll need is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a number 17 or a 17 millimeter combination wrench, a 10 millimeter combination wrench, and a ratchet with a 10 millimeter socket, preferably a 1/4 inch drive. That kind of works. And it's a little 1/4 inch drive works much better for many of the smaller fasteners on a Vespa. All right, start with 17 millimeter combination wrench. Gotta take your mirrors off. Start on the left side and go ahead and tighten. So you're gonna turn clockwise on this, and then that's how you take your left mirror off. If you have a much older Vespa, it's they're usually just standard threads on both the left and the right mirror. These have that newer style, large 10 millimeter threaded stud on them. And when you move on to your right mirror, just standard threads, go ahead and get your wrench on there, counterclockwise. Go ahead and spin the mirror counterclockwise for your right side. Get those mirrors out of the way. And next you want to have a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, just a standard screwdriver here. Not working the most efficiently by reaching down on the floorboard for the tools, but get right to it. So right underneath here, right to the very corner, I kind of show, and it's right below the grip. Right here is where your screw is. A little silver screw, and it's in the chrome switch gear right here. There's also a little washer. So as you remove that little screw, make sure the washer comes out. And then go ahead and repeat on the right-hand side as well. All right, so now that you got those pair of screws out of the way, we'll move on to right in front right here. Right in the center of the headlight, there's gonna be a single Phillips screw. Trying to do this from the back side here. And this is where you may want to put a little grease on the tip of the screwdriver, or have a magnetized screwdriver, or you can get your fingernail in there, and you just don't want to allow that screw to drop into the frame of the scooter. It's real easy to do. So, and there's also a washer with this one. So just to show you what I just pulled out. And it also makes it a little easier if you do remove this horn cover. You want to pry this off from, I guess if you're sitting on a bike, left side, pry the badge off, and there's a single Torx screw off on there. But it's possible to remove all this without the horn cover. I kind of have the handlebars tipped to the side. That helps a little bit. Just go ahead and tip the whole front cover forward. And at this point, we can just leave this hanging from the connector. That's fine. I do have that extra headlight on there. You're going to need both a 10 millimeter combination wrench and a 1/4 inch drive socket with a 10 millimeter socket on it. We'll start with the right lever here. Put our combination 10 millimeter wrench on that nylon locking nut under there. And I'm putting my finger in there just to keep the nut from falling out, and it's pretty close to falling off the threaded lever pivot right there. So I got that out of the way, and at this point you can unthread the rest of the lever here. And FYI, this is your brake master cylinder. You got your brake light switch. If you ever need to service those parts, they're right there. The brake light switch is actually the same part they've been using for years on the Vespa. At this point, just pull the pivot bolt out and just separate the lever. And unlike the older versions, there's no washers that drop out, anything like that. And then take your new levers, make sure you find the one that says R on it, and it says RL, so right lever is what that really means. This is RL, so the first letter R and L means that's the right lever. And before you install it, it's not a bad idea at all to take some grease. I would take something like this Maxima super sticky tacky grease, just part number grease on the Scooter West web store. Tends to work good for most things on these Vespas. And these have a very unique setup. There's actually a little ball on the piston, where it's much better than the older setups. I'd fill that little cavity with a little grease, and then a little bit on the top and bottom of the lever, and maybe a little bit on the bolt as well. So just on where the lever pivot. You don't need that much grease. It can get quite messy real quickly. Go ahead and put the lever in there and thread the nut underneath. Sometimes you could move this lower throttle cable out of the way. And I would suggest just putting the closed-in wrench on that nut. And just snug it tight. And then this nut, let's close that up. And now you got a nice black lever there. And pretty much do the same thing on the left side. It's all pretty much identical. All right, so go ahead. We got the levers all installed. Go ahead and snap this all back into place. Just like the reverse order, we'll kind of make sure the wires aren't pinched in between any of the parts. Get this all lined up, and I have it tipped up just ever so slightly, and it kind of just snaps into place on these upper mounts. So it did a pretty nice job getting that stuff all to line up real much better than the older models. And kind of just go into reverse order. Take your single screw, the black screw that's in the center below the headlight. Again, you could put a little grease on the screwdriver, or you could use your finger just like I'm doing here and kind of aim for that single hole. Just don't want to allow that screw to drop out of the screwdriver when you're getting it started. And you can go ahead and send that screw home. Don't need to over tighten it. It is up against plastic. Don't grind your screwdriver against the trim. And for both the left and right side, just go ahead and replace these two self-tapping screws. Again, do not over tighten these screws. They're threaded into plastic. So, all right, we'll go ahead and put the mirrors on. Keep in mind, we have several Rizoma mirrors that will fit these because they do have a universal set of hardware that works for these 10mm threaded studs that they use on these new Vespas. It's nice that they went up to the larger size because that's more standardized with the motorcycle industry. They usually use 10mm. Go ahead and spin the mirror on. I typically like get the mirror head just kind of parallel with the grip. It's a good starting point. And then just go ahead and snug the lock nut. Push the rubber back down. If you're wondering what that little mount right here is, that's a SP Connect mount for a mobile phone. Keep in mind, it's got reverse threads right here. So you'd be throwing yourself off if you're trying to tighten it like normal clockwise direction. So we're going counterclockwise with this one. The left mirror, that is. Get the head right over the grip. Make it look similar to the other side. And there you go. Look at those. Don't those levers look much better than what was on there to begin with? Kind of match the rest of the trim of the scooter. So thanks for watching. I hope that helped you out. Super simple job. I'd call that like a one wrench kind of job. Super easy to do. Whether you're doing something like the fancy MG Bike Tech levers, or you're just looking to replace your stock levers or upgrade your scooter to these nice black levers. Thanks for watching. It's Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Again, if it's your first time stumbling across the channel, just type Vespa Motorsport and you'll see several of my videos, especially if you got a brand new spanking 2023 Vespa. I'm already covering all the accessories that are available for the new model Vespa. See you on the next one. Robot here.